Hello and welcome to Cheshire Audio. Now, apologies, I haven't done a video for some time. I've actually had people ring me up and asking why I'm not doing videos. It's a continuation of what I mentioned in the last one. I've just had so many decks coming in for service that I've been just on that all the time. I mean, there's been a little bit of a lull because I've run out of certain spares, which I'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, I'm sort of catching up with it now. I mean, at one point I was sort of finishing one and then two more were coming in, and I was getting to the point where I was actually having to say, look, can you just wait a couple of weeks or I'll ring you when I'm ready, things like that. So kind of getting it together a little bit now. Generally the shop's very quiet actually, not actually selling new stuff. There's not much going on. It's been fairly quiet really. But that's sort of understandable. I think that you get a bit of a post-Christmas lull because everybody's sort of trying to pay off the credit card bills, I suppose, I don't know. It's complicated things recently because we have had quite a bit of snow in Cheshire, although looking out of the window, you won't believe me. Just about gone now, but we've had total whiteouts 2 days running now in the morning. And can I just say Volvos are rubbish in the snow. You would have thought a Swedish car would be really good, but no. Not as bad as a BMW used to have, but no, this Volvo now didn't like it at all. What am I talking about? Got off on a complete and utter tangent. So I've got a few ideas for videos. I mean, I was greatly helped by, I put out a bit of a request in a previous video, I think it was, and I got quite a few good ideas from people who watch. And also there's a few things come in, whatever, that I can talk about as well. So I've got quite a few things lined up now as well. And I think after Christmas, I had a bit of a sort of, went a bit blank, things to talk about, but there's quite a lot of things happening now, so I can sort of do quite a bit. Firstly, would be, I haven't done it yet, I need to do a review of the Zen Phono, from iFight. That is a really good little unit, and I wanted to do a sort of proper in-depth review of that. In here, I keep forgetting to mention this, and partly because I keep getting one in and then it keeps selling again. We're not talking about the CD player, the Atoll there, we're talking about the little platform it's sitting on. This is the Audite the bridge, the isolation platform. I did a review of the prototype, and this is the finished version of it, which is somewhat more sort of domestically acceptable, it's much slimmer. But I'll probably do a proper review of this again. Partly because it's brilliant. I mean, what tended to happen with this? As soon as I got the first production version of this, it was sold the same day. Got another one in, and I'd already mentioned it to somebody, and as soon as that came in, that was sold. Now, because it's gone quiet, at last I've actually got one of my own that I can actually keep in the shop and use, and the difference that this makes under so many things is astonishing. But anyway, I'll leave that for the review. Also, the LX Mark IV is pretty much run in now, so I'll be doing a proper sort of opinion review of that. I've already done the walk round, so what I might do with that is I might do talk about the performance of it compared to the old version, and also perhaps compare to something like an Atoll Iron 100, which is probably its closest competitor really. I think that would probably work quite well. So yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, just running just a bit. Since I did the review of Jake Kogan, there she is, I've had her on repeat. Let's get the quickest of blasts of Jake Kogan. That's probably as much as YouTube will let me. Wish you could play music on YouTube, because it's kind of the point, isn't it really? But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, because I think there was one video I did very, very early on where I tested a record player and just did a blast of, I think there's about a 3-second blast of the Doors, and that's been censored. Can't play it. Anyway, yeah, workshop-wise, is that all the reviews? Workshop-wise, still quite busy in here. We've got that one's to go out, Planer 3, full service, fitted a RB300 to that, 330, turn arm to that. That's to sort out. That one's to sort out, waiting for parts, which have just come. That's waiting for parts, and some of the parts, well, one of the parts come. What I was waiting for, I've had real problems getting hold of the capacitors. The usual UK supplier that I use, which is RS Components, for some reason their website isn't working. you can order as much as you want on there, but come to pay it, and it just all falls over. So I don't know what's going on with that. I had to get those from France, which took 2 days from France, which was good. I've literally only got 10, so I usually order 40, 50 at a time, but 10 will just keep me going for now. I need about 3 this week, really. So yeah, that's had serious speed issues. The belt was probably the worst belt I've ever come across. It just wasn't running at all. It'd run on 45, but 33, forget it. But that needs a cap on it anyway. Just running it up for 20 minutes just to make sure it does fall over. And once it's fallen over, I'll repair it, run it again, make sure it stays at speed. So I've also had a little Dual 606, which is just for service, just a cartridge and a bit of a clean up. Everything works. I tend not to, if these are faulty now, I tend not to take them in, because the amount of labour involved sorting these out is horrendous. So I tend not to take them in, really. However good they are, they're just getting to that sort of age now where it's getting a little bit too much. Also had in, which is nice, Michell Synchro, which I might do a retro review on, actually. Really like the Synchro, and I think it's the sort of forgotten Michell. But that's just in, again, for a service, possibly a cartridge. I'll be doing that later. Oh, actually, another thing that's quite interesting, if you've ever heard of it, LFD. Now, I don't really do electronics repairs anymore. I used to have a chap who came in to do stuff like this. Absolute genius. He could fix anything. And he got to the point where he decided he didn't want to do it anymore. But I've managed to persuade him, because this is really special. LFD are a really, really good British brand. Nobody's heard of them. Very, very niche. Everything they do is wonderful. Still exist, actually. I thought they'd gone, but they do still exist. They've gone really quite high-ish end now. They're not. They always used to be very, very sort of affordable exotica. But now they're more sort of towards more exotic sort of prices, I would say, really. I think doesn't seem as good a value now. There's a little integrated that is about 5,000. But this is wonderful, but quite seriously broken. So I'm hoping David, who can just look at a circuit board and tell you what's wrong with it, which is really annoying. So yeah, LFD. I might do a retro review on this, actually. I might just, once it's come back from service, might just do a little retro review on it. I don't know, if not before, actually, thinking about it. If not before, anyway. I think that's it. Have I forgotten anything? The other parts issue I'm having at the moment, which is a bit of an oddity. I sold loads and loads of belts over Christmas and New Year for Regas. And then, not realising how low I was, completely ran out. When all these service decks came in, I didn't have enough to put on. All I've got left is literally, that was my belt supply there. I've got, three of the reference belts, and no standard belts at all. Oh, and I'm down to, that's my last hub bearing as well. So pretty much out of all spares, all the spares I use a lot anyway. I mean, you usually have sort of 10, 15 hub bearings, 20, 30 belts in. But Rega have run out of belts. And they don't know when their next batch is coming, because obviously they'll be made for them. I don't think they've had a similar rush. I think everybody's been ordering belts, and then the whole lot's just run out, so nobody's got belts. So this is part of the reason why some of these service decks are still waiting, because there's no belt, and I've had capacitors. I've been waiting a week to get hold. Well, tried for a few days to get hold of them from RS. No chance. So I ended up ordered from France, and they came quite quickly. So I'm sort of all right for the moment. So it's all. These things are sent to triers, I think they say, don't they? So yeah, that's it for today. I know it's a bit of a waffly report, but I'm going to have the LX Mark IV review coming soon. i-Fi, Phono Stage, a little Zenphono I'm going to do a review on, and a couple of retro reviews, probably the Michell Micro and the LFD. So that's coming up, plus the best amplifiers of all time thing, which I've talked about before. Which will just take a lot of filming, because I'll have to find a lot of photos and things. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Right, things to say. I need to get on. I want to get these. I want to get the Dual finished and the Michell, because the Regas are still waiting. So I'll just get those done today. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a future video. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a like.